Is this clean? Yeah. Louis? Okay. Do you want to taste it to make sure it's not poison?
You can't be fined if you talk about the officials.
You don't know that.
Yeah, Andrew, Coach was talking earlier about the film review of this game. I assume it was, I know you've had a lot of close losses this year, but I assume this was a little more painful than others. Can you just talk about what that was like, and have you put this one behind you?
Well, obviously it's heartbreaking, and it's heartbreaking because we did have so many opportunities to really close it out and put it away on both sides of the ball. And I know a lot got made about the officials, but we have opportunities to close it out and really not leave it up to a call here or there. And we could have done our part just to, as an offense, we could have grinded out a couple first downs when we had the ball there with 3 minutes left and really put the thing away. So, we watched the film yesterday morning and you learn from it. And I think it was Vince Lombardi said that once, mistakes and setbacks have served their purpose of teaching and you learn from them, you have to move on. So I think you have to move past it and look forward to the next challenge.
Andrew, you're a pretty level-headed guy, and football is part of your life but not your whole life. Have you made any sense of this crazy season yet?
Well, there's a reason for it, and being a Christian, I believe that God truly does have a plan, and that this is part of it. And being 5-5 is not what we wanted to happen, but we're going to be stronger because of it. There are lessons we can learn from every single one of these games, and when those lessons are going to be able to be applied and when that's going to come to light, I don't know. I don't know if any of us do know, but I think the important thing is to stay positive and keep staying the course.
Along those lines, Coach D'Antonio said that he sees a benefit in sports psychologists and that those are something that have helped players on this team. Is that something that you've seen benefit certain players when you've had as many heartbreaking losses, as you said, difficult moments?
Yeah, I think, we have a great sports psychologist in Lonnie Rosen, so I've met with him numerous times. I know a lot of players on our team have met with him numerous times, and he just kind of brings a different perspective because he's a guy who's not in the program every day, and he's able to look at it from just kind of an outside perspective and a more cerebral perspective and just put things kind of in a way that you never really thought about before, but when you sit down with him and have a conversation, it makes a lot of sense. So that's something that I've benefited from, and I know a lot of guys on our team have also.
Other questions for Andrew?
You also seem to throw the ball up better than 9 of 27. How did you feel like you did, and how do you feel like you've progressed throughout the year? It seems significantly more comfortable week to week.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the stat line, you see 9 of 27, and those numbers don't exactly blow your socks off. But I thought our passing game, and I thought I played better than 9 of 27 shows, and I thought we made strides in the passing game. I think that helps first and foremost because we ran the ball a lot more effectively than we have. We had all 5 of our linemen practice the full week in their spots, so that kind of helped them get comfortable and get on a roll. And so not only did they run block great, but the pass protection I thought was one of the best games as we've had, and as far as that standpoint goes. No sacks, only got hit once or twice. So that kind of helps with your confidence as a quarterback when you're moving the football, and so the defense is a little bit more on their heels and the offensive line is protecting as well as they are. That makes it a little easier to be confident, stand in and throw the ball.
Andrew, when you talk about there being a plan, do you have any idea what it is at this point? And did you say, hey, whatever it is, we got the message, you can stop anytime now?
A grand plan? Yeah. I don't really know exactly what it is. I don't think, obviously that's not for me to know right now. That's where faith comes in. Faith is believing in things not seen. So I'm going to keep the faith, and I know a lot of guys on this team who share the same faith as I do are going to keep believing and keep steadfast and keep faithful in that.
Andrew, we've seen you scramble. You said that there were some opportunities against Nebraska. You saw that going in. Is that a dimension you think that's going to be in your game for all opponents now? Because I think a couple of those scrambles proved pretty clutch and pretty key.
Well, it certainly wouldn't hurt, and it's something that I think I should continue to work on and continue to develop as part of my game, because that being part of the game doesn't take away, I don't think, from any part of the game that I have already. So the only thing you can do is progress it. And even talking with Coach Narduzzi, and he just kind of reinstated to me like the importance in what that does to a defensive staff, and when they see even 2 or 3 times on film where a quarterback takes off and run, that's just, it may seem insignificant, it may seem just a little bit, 2 or 3 plays, but he just told me the weight that can carry in a defense's game plan. So that's something that I'll continue to work on, and it hasn't become all that natural or second nature to me, but with practice and keep working on it, I think it can be productive for me.
Nebraska came in, I think they allowed opposing quarterbacks to complete less than 50% of their passes. What was it, or what is it about Nebraska's scheme that makes them so difficult to get a high percentage of completions against?
Well, I think they're extremely smart players. Their linebackers and their secondary and pass coverage, they play a lot of man coverage, and they do so very intelligently. They pass a lot of things off well. They recognize route concepts soon, and they're aggressive. So, I think the combination of those things makes it hard for an offense to be productive and to complete a lot of passes, and something that they do very well.
Andrew, other than that Wisconsin game, the look on Coach D's face has been like a constant frown. Does a team ever have to pick a coach up who takes this all personally?
Well, I think a coach can feed off his players just like a player can feed off his coach, and I think that comes with the territory of being a family and being a team, that if he sees us being positive and he sees us keeping forward, then he's going to do that as well. But, that may be the look on Saturday on the sidelines, but during the week, Coach D's done a great job of putting the last game behind him and really keeping our focus, because players can have a tendency to kind of fall back into a rut and get discouraged and disappointed, but he's done a great job of pulling us along and making sure that we're staying focused on the task at hand. So even though on Saturdays it may look a little disappointing, because for a couple of weeks it has been, but throughout the week he's been positive and kept pushing us in a forward direction.
What are you hoping to take out of the bye week, personally?
Well, I think it's a good week to recharge your batteries, just to kind of take a step back and take a breath from everything. Get healthy, because the season, especially 10 weeks into it, you get some bumps and bruises. So this can be a good week to get healthy, and then having an extra week to prepare for an opponent. Going into the game that next week, you're not going to have any excuses to be underprepared. So anytime you get an extra week just to kind of cross all your T's and dot all your I's, that's something that you got to take advantage of.
Andrew, on that 3rd and 6, and the last of us said that was a run pass option on that play. Is that right?
The one that we ran it on. It was, yeah. It was, we had a run play, but we also had the 2 receivers run the bubble route to the outside. But another instance where they were in man coverage, and your bubble route's not going to be any good against man coverage.
You saw man.
Yeah, and so, right, so your better chance is going to be pouring it into a 7-man box as opposed to trying to go 2-on-2 on the outside when you're running the bubble route.
Andrew, Coach D always talks about how resilient young people can be. How difficult, though, has it been to try and get back up after getting knocked down in so many close games this year?
I think it's the mark of a tough team, and that's if you want to be a championship caliber team and you want to be all the things that we say we want to be. We want to be tough. We want to be unified. We want to have good character, and that's something that we have to do, and we have to roll with the punches, and we have to keep moving on no matter what happens.
Any other questions for Andrew? Going once, going twice.
We get 14 minutes next week, though.
Andrew, talk about your start to the morning this morning up in Midland. What'd you do?
Oh, I opened up the polls at Adams Elementary. I was there, well, not officially, but I was there at 6:45, Midland, Michigan. First experience voting. I felt pretty American. First time ever voting, because I was 17 the last time the presidential election.
Is this first time voting or first time voting in presidential?
First time voting, ever.
Did it feel good?
It did feel good. I don't think enough gets made of just the privilege we have in this country of having that right and having a democracy. Because if you think about it, how rare of a thing that is, and how many countries don't have this opportunity. So to truly be able to have a voice and have your pick of the direction of this country is something that's unique, and I think that's pretty cool to be a part of.